Good morning. Today we are going to start with our new lesson in chapter 11, lesson 5, which talking about solving rational equations. In this lesson, we are going to learn how can we solve the rational equations. Now, what is the rational equations? The rational equations, it has like any rational numbers like 3x plus 2 over x squared minus 9, they have to be equal any rational number like this as an example, or equal 6. Since we call it an rational equation, so it's an expression with an equal sign. And the rational equation, it could be have one or more than rational or more rational expressions. Now, how did we solve it? To solve it, you have to solve it by first multiplying each side by the least common denominator. When you will multiply them, you solve them using the cross product property. Let's see here, what did I mean? Let's start now with this problem here. Here we have 5 over 12 minus 1 over 2x equal 1 over 3x. The first step here, you have to find the least common denominator between 12 and 2x and 3x. For the all denominators, you have to bring them down, 12 and 2x and 3x. Then you have to find the least common denominator by writing the factors for each of them. 12, we have 2 times 3, which is times 2. For 2x, we have 2 times x. And for 3x, we have 3 times x. Then let's circle the common one. The common here, there's no common. 2. But yeah, so we have here now 2. We have 3. We have x. And also we have the 2. By this way now, we wrote all of them. So the least common denominator here is 12x. This is here what the first step we have to do. Now, is it clear?
Yes, miss.
Yes, teacher.
So yes, the first step here, as we did before, you have to find the least common denominator. Now, this is now the least common denominator, which is 12x. In the second step, you have to bring this 12x and you have to multiply it by each term here, by the first term, by the second term, and by the last term. So you have to multiply 12x by each term. Let's do it. So the first step, you have to multiply 12x by 5 over 12. Minus 12x by 1 over 2x equal 12x by 1 over 3x. So what did you do here? You multiply the answer which we found, which is the least common denominator, which is 12x. First, you multiply it with 5 over 12, the first denominator, first term. Then with the second term, then with the last term. Is it clear? And I have to go now step by step. So the first step, you have to find the least common denominator. This is the first step. The second step, you have to multiply by each term. Then let's now here multiply. It's been simplified. So 12 with the 12 here, what did you have? We have 5x. Then here, x cancel x. 2 with the 12, we have 6. So you have to say minus 6 equals x cancel x. 3 over 3 is 1 over this 4. So by multiplying now each term, we get the simple equation. After that, now you have to solve it. We have a linear one. So now, let's continue here. So 5x minus 6 is 4. Then plus 6 plus x. So 5x is 10. So x will be 2. So the value of x here is 2. Is it clear? So find the least common denominator, multiply by each term, then solve. Is it clear?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, miss, it's clear.
Then the second now here, they ask you to check. How did you check? Just here, don't forget that x is 2. So now, now let's have to check. What we have to do when you want to check, just here, substitute with x is 2. So instead of x, clean it. And here, instead of x now, write 2. Then let's see. Is 5 over 12 minus 1 over 4 equal to 1 over 6? Let's see now. What do we have to do? We have to see 12 and 4 and 6. So the common denominator here is 12. So times 3 times 3 times 2 times 2. So 5 over 12 minus 3 over 12. Is it 2 over 12? Yes. So I will say that this is the solution. So I will repeat. Find the least common denominator, then multiply, then solve. After you solve, if they ask you to check, you have to check your answer. Is it clear?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
Okay. Let's now go solve for example. Now here. One over 3 plus 3 over x is 2 over x. So what you have to do? The first step, where's the denominators? We have 3 and x and x. Okay? Here now there's no common between them. So the least common denominator, since there's no common, you have to multiply 3 times x, which is 3x squared. Is it right?
Yes, teacher. Yes, miss.
There's no common, so you have to multiply them. So you get 3x squared. Then you have to multiply now this number by each term. So you have to multiply it now by each term. So 1 over 3 times 3x squared plus 3 over x times 3x squared equal 2 over x times 3x squared. Multiply now each term by 3x squared. Then now, what is the next step?
Multiplication, sister. We multiply
Yes.
3x
So
by
you have to multiply now. 3 here. So 3 cancel 3, we have x squared plus x cancel x. So we have 3 times 3 times x. Okay, because here, I will repeat, here you have x squared. X squared, it's mean 2 x's, x and x. So x cancel x, so we have 3 times 3x, which is 9x, equal. Here we have the same. Here we have 2 x's, because it's x squared. So x cancel x, so we have 2 times 3 times x, which is 6x. Now then, let's now rearrange it. You get minus 6x minus 6x. So x squared minus 3x will be 0. Then we have to what? After we find the least common denominator, multiply, then solve it. How did you solve it now here? Here, what did you have? We have x squared minus 3x. So who can tell me what you have to do?
plus 3x plus y is negative, must be positive.
Oh, yes. It's a plus 3x. Okay, then how did you solve it?
Minus 3x. So we will not make the difference of square. Difference of square means,
Sorry?
I mean, sum of the square, difference of
There's
squares.
no. Here you have to take x as a common factor. So we have it as x plus 3. Did you remember when I told you if c is missing, you have to use the common factor?
Yes.
Okay, no, there's no difference of equation if you have x squared minus 9 and x squared minus something without x minus number, x squared minus c. But if you have a on b only, you have to use how to find it by common factor. You take x as a common factor, so you have x plus 3 equals 0. So x, it could be 0, and x plus 3, it could be 0.
Okay. Yes.
So x is 0, and x could be negative 3. Now, let's check. So after we find the least common denominator, multiply, solve, now check. Now here, as you see, we have 2 solutions. We have to check which one will be the solution. Maybe two of both of them, maybe one of them, and maybe no one.
To check, 0 cannot be a solution because
yes, exactly. Thank you so much, Farah. 0 cannot be a solution. Because why? Because here you have 1 over 3 plus 3 over 0. This 3 over 0 is undefined. So I will say that 0 must not be a solution. It's impossible to be a solution. So let's check now negative 3. One over 3 plus 3 over negative 3. Is it equal to 2 over negative 3? Now we have to solve it. Now, how can we make, and look at the, as you know, if you want to solve it, we must have the same denominators. Here we have negative 3. Here we have negative 3, but here we have 3. They are not the like denominators. So how can I make 3 to be as negative 3?
Multiply it by -1.
Multiply it by -1. Bravo. See here, when you want to solve an equation, why we find the least common denominator? We find it to make them have the same denominator. When they have the same denominator, we can solve them. That's why we find the least common, or we found the least common denominator. It helped me to make the numerator, or to help me to make all the expressions have the same denominator. When they have the same denominator, we can solve it. Like here. Here we have -3 and -3 and 3. I cannot now add them. I want to add them, I have to make them have the same denominator. So by multiplying by -1 by each side. So -1 over -3 plus 3 over -3. Is it equal to over -3? To check it, you have to add the numerator. Is -1 plus 3 equal to?
Yes.
Yes. So you have to say yes. This is the solution. So the answer is when x is equal to -3 only. So sometimes in the exam, if I give you the choices as 0 or -3 or 0 and -3, you have to choose only -3. Is it clear?
Yes.
Yes, teacher.
Yes, teacher.
Yes, teacher.
Yes, miss.
Now, 4 over 7x plus 1 over 3 is 7 over 3x. So 4 over 7x plus 1 over 3 must be equal to 7 over 3x. So here now, what is the first step?
Least common denominator.
Multiply.
Yes, let's find the
denominator.
least common denominator. So here we have 7x, we have 3, and we have 3x. 7x, 3, and 3x. We bring them here. Then now, let's factorize them. We have 7 and x. We have 3 and x. Let's now circle the common and write the non-common. So we have 7 times 3 times x, which is 21x. We circle the common and we write also the non-common. So we have 21x. Then here, the next step, you have to multiply 21x by each term. Then, after we multiply each term, let's simplify. X with x, 7 with 21, we have 3. 3 with 21, we have 7. And x with x, 3 with this one, we have 7. So, then 4 times 3 is 12, minus 1 times 7 times x, we have 7x, must be equal to 49. Then minus 12, so negative 7x will be 3 minus 2 is 3, 4 minus 1 is 3, 9 minus 2 is 7. So x will be negative 37 over 7.
Teacher, just a minute.
Yeah.
Teacher, I have a question here, like in 7 over 3x multiply 21x. I cannot simplify the numerator, like making it cross instead of teacher, unless if I have the numerator up and there is the denominator has the same like multiples of each other, so I can cross together. But the numerator is the same, I cannot. Like here teacher, if I have 7 multiplied 21x over 3. So I cannot cross 7 with 21. Correct?
Wait, if you have like, which one? Oh, give me an example, please, to understand you.
Yes, 7 over 3
Okay.
multiply 49 over 7.
49 over 7
No, over 8, like you said.
over
49
8.
over 8.
Yes, okay.
Yes. So I cannot cross 7 with 49.
No, you cannot cross numerator with numerator. Must be numerator with denominator.
Okay.
Okay. Do you have any question now?
No, thank
And
you.
teacher, in the previous example, when we got to the solution of x squared plus 9x equals 6x, teacher, we made minus 6x minus 6x. But teacher, I cannot make the opposite of making like minus 9x into minus 9x.
Yes, you can, but here, if you like, it is like x squared plus 9x equals 6.
9x.
It's like this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You can
I
say
made
it's like this. Then you have to say x squared is negative 3x. But if you do this, make this step, you will say that x cancel x, so x will be negative 3. But this is not the only one, it's not the solution. We have two solutions here, 0 and negative 3. So if you do make, or if you make this step, you will forget the next of the second solution. Did you understand me?
How can I differentiate?
And here I mean that you have like this. You will say divide by x. So x will be negative 3. Hello, this is one solution. So where's the another one? So to get rid from being in this mistake, you have to use the common factor. The common factor here, you will say that x squared plus 6x is 0. So let's take x as a common factor. Oh, not plus 6, plus 3, sorry. So here that's mean x, it could be 0, and x plus 3, it could be 0. So here we have two solutions. Done?
Okay, done.
Let's now here. Solving by factoring. What is the solution of 1 minus 1 over x, which is 2 over x squared? Now, for this one here, you have as 1 minus 1 over x equals to 12 over x squared. What is the denominators here? Here we have 1 and x squared. So here we have x and x squared and 1. So the common here is x, and the non-common here is x. So what is the least common denominator will be? X what?
It will be teacher x squared.
X squared.
Yes.
Then let's now multiply x squared by each term. So here, then x squared times 1, x squared.
X squared.
And then here we have 1 over x times x squared.
Teacher x.
It will be x, thank you. Because here we have 2 x's. So we have x will be. Then now here, 12 over x squared times x squared will be what?
Cross x squared is x squared. It will be 12.
Yes. So here, in this case, as you see, after we finished, we have as a quadratic equation. For this quadratic equation, we have to find the zeros of it. We have to solve it. So here we have x squared minus 6 minus 12 equals 0. That's why here the problem is to learn how to solve by factoring, because we need to factorize the equation here. Now, so we have to think about two numbers. If you multiply them, you get negative 12. If you add them, you get negative 1. What are these two numbers? You multiply them, you get negative 12. You add them, you get negative 1. Negative 4 plus 3. Negative 4 plus 3. And you add them, you get negative 1. And if you multiply them, you get negative 12. Is it right?
Yes, teacher.
So
Yes, teacher.
here we have x minus 4 and x plus 3. Then x minus 4, it could be 0. And x plus 3, it could be 0, as we did before. So x, it could be 4. And x, it could be negative 3. So here we have 4 and negative 3. Now, let's check our solution. Let's start now with x equal 4. 1 minus 1 over 4. Is it 2 over 16? 2 over x squared, which is 16. Then here, times 4. Times 4. Here, times 16 times 16. So 16 minus 4. Is it equal to 12 over 16? Yes, grade 8. 16 minus 4 is 12, yes. So
Yes,
it's
teacher.
yes. Right. Now let's check negative 3. One minus 1 over negative 3. Is it 12 over negative 3 squared?
Yes, teacher, it will be 12 over 9.
12 over 9. Here we have negative 1 over negative 3. To make it 9, we have to multiply by what?
By negative, by
3.
3.
By
Negative
negative
3.
Negative 3.
Exactly. And here we have 1. So we multiply it by 9. by 9. Then 9 over 9 minus negative 3 over 9. Is it equal to 12 over 9?
No. Yes, teacher, yes.
Yes,
Because
teacher, yes.
subtraction
Plus
will
3.
change the sign.
12. Is it 12 over 9? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So that's mean, where's the solution? It's not 11 and 12. It's not 12 and 13. We have, we say that we have negative
4
3
and
negative and 4. So this is not this one. So the answer here is C. Be careful. Don't say when you solve it. Hello, when you solve it at the beginning, I told you we have x plus 3 times x minus 4. So don't say it is 3 and negative 4. This is false. You have to find the zeros of the expressions here, of the equations. When x is 3 plus 3 is 0, and when x is minus 4 is 0. So in this case, we have 4 and negative 3, which is will be C. So this is here the idea from our lesson. You have to find the least common denominator, multiply, then solve. Is it clear?
Yes,
yes,
teacher.
Yes.
Now, let's solve now
Yes.
A. In A here, we have 5 over y equal 6 over y squared minus 6. The first step, yeah, let's repeat. You have to find where's the denominator. Y and y squared and 1. So here we have y and y squared and 1. So what are the factors here? We have y and y. We have y and y and 1. So the common here is y, and the non-common here is also y. So what is the least common denominator will be?
y squared.
Y squared.
Y squared.
Bravo. So the second step now, you have to multiply y squared by each term. So here by y squared, by y squared, by y squared. Then y times y squared will be what? What's the product we multiply?
Cancel y.
5 over y.
So it will be 5y
5y.
5 over y.
equal y squared cancel y squared. So it's equal 6 minus y squared times 6.
6y squared.
6y squared. Bravo. Then here we have it as, let's now rearrange it, plus 6y squared minus 6 plus 6y squared. So we have it as 6y squared plus 5y minus 6 equals 0. Okay? 6y squared plus 5y minus 6 equals 0. Now, here we have to go now to our lesson in chapter 8 or chapter 9 that we say that if we have a quadratic equation with a times c is have a number, you have to find to factor a times c. So here we have 6 and we have negative 6.
We have negative 36.
So here we have to think two numbers that if you multiply get them, you get negative 36, and if you add them, you get positive 5. Let's think about two factors. If you multiply them, you
9 and 4.
9 and
get
4,
9
miss.
and 4. Bravo.
9 4.
But since now the positive here, the answer here is positive, so the greater number will be positive and the smaller
Positive.
number will be negative.
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 So we have now plus 9 and negative 4. So 6y squared plus 9 and negative 4. So plus 9y minus 4y minus 6. It's like this, equals 0.
Replaced.
Yes, I replaced positive
Teacher, it is
5y.
negative. No, miss. I mean negative 9 and positive 4.
Why 9 minus 4 is 5.
I mean, teacher, the answer, the sign of 9 is negative or positive?
Positive.
Oh, okay.
Because when you're adding them, you must get positive 5. So it is 9 minus 4.
Okay.
Now, then, let's now group them like this. So here, you have 6y squared plus 9y. What you have to do here now?
Common factor.
Common factor. Bravo, Basmala. So let's take 3y as a common factor. So we have now 2y. Did you remember how? Shall I write it here?
Yeah, 2y
Yes,
plus
teacher.
3.
Plus 3.
Plus
Bravo.
3.
And here, negative 4y minus 6. What do you have to take as a common factor?
2.
Negative 4.
Negative
No.
2.
Negative 2.
Bravo.
Negative 2.
And then 2.
2y
Y
plus
minus
3
3.
Bravo. Thank you so much. Plus 3.
equals
Then here.
3y minus 2.
3y minus 2.
Multiply 2y plus
Multiply
3.
2y plus 3.
y.
Bravo. So 2y plus 3 times 3y minus 2. So here, let's then continue here. Now, I'm sorry, we have less than 1 minute. So let's find the zeros here. So 2y plus 3 will be 0. So 2y is negative 3. So y will be negative 3 over 2. And the second one, 3y minus 2 is 0. So y gonna be 2 over 3. So here we have two solutions when y is negative 3 over 2 and 2 over 3. Is it clear?
Yes, miss.
Yes, miss.
Sure.
Yes,
So by now we finished our lesson, our period 3. Inshallah on Sunday we will continue how to solve or to continue the rest of our lesson.